Good afternoon, and thank you for joining today's NACNS webinar, Annual Conference 2021, an exclusive sneak peek with tips to optimize your experience. My name is Susan Houchins with NACNS staff, and I will moderate today's call. Just a few logistics before we begin. All participants are placed on mute throughout the call. If you have any questions or comments, please submit using the question box on your control panel on your screen. Questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and the replay will be made available to all who registered for this webinar. On behalf of NACNS, I am pleased to turn this webinar over to Ludmila Santiago Rockford, Chair of the NACNS Planning Committee.
Hi, everybody. It's hard to believe it's only 4 weeks away from this wonderful virtual conference that's going to be coming, the first virtual NACNS annual conference. And as Susan said, I am the chair for the current planning committee, and I have the pleasure to introduce to you the presenter today. Today's webinar will give you hopefully a lot of helpful tips on how to navigate through this virtual conference, upcoming virtual conference, and we'll answer any questions you have at the end. And I just want to tell you a little bit about Alyssa, who I've had the pleasure of working with for the past year. She has been an event manager at Virtual since 2019 and has been on the NACNS event team for this past year. Before working at Virtual, she worked on the venue side of events in the corporate sales and conference management. She manages events for a number of association clients at Virtual and is the NACNS event lead. So we thank you for your time today. So take it away, Alyssa.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Ludi, not only for the introduction, but for all of your dedication to this event. The work done by both Ludi and her co-chair, Jane Swartz, along with support from the larger planning committee, has been absolutely instrumental. We are excited to celebrate the resurgence of the CNS with you and have done our best to create a virtual event worthy of the CNS community. I know this has been an incredibly trying year for the group. We have built a conference that we hope will not only provide key educational resources for you, but also provide a chance to come together as a community, to talk through challenges, and also to enjoy some levity and entertainment. Before we dive into the event platform, I wanted to share some general tips for making the most out of the virtual conference. I am sure at this point, many of you have participated in online events, and you can appreciate the safety and convenience of attending remotely. But there are also some pitfalls to virtual attendance that we want to help you avoid. My first piece of advice is to treat the conference like you would if it were in person. Yes, if you're watching from home, you can wear pajamas, but we really encourage you to avoid the temptation to multitask whenever possible. Attendee engagement is key to a successful event, whether it's live or in person. To the best of your ability, try to carve out time in your schedule to fully commit to the conference days. The agenda is chock full of sessions geared towards interaction. We urge you to fully engage in the presentation, join the chats, ask questions, and try to give the virtual presenters your full attention. My second tip is to go into the conference with a game plan. The week before the conference, you will gain access to the virtual event platform and receive a full attendee handbook. Take a little time to read the guide. Then log on and look around. Get comfortable and make sure you'll know how to access everything once the conference goes live. The platform is very user-friendly and intuitive, but there will be plenty of support both before and during the conference if you need help. Then you can start adding sessions to your agenda. The virtual event platform lets you build a personalized agenda so you can curate your ultimate conference experience. And we also encourage you to kickstart your networking right away. I'll show you how to do all of this when we preview the site. My third tip is to take advantage of the on-demand content. While the keynote sessions, workshops, meetups, and networking will take place live, much of the conference content is available on demand. That means you can go back and watch it whenever you'd like. During the concurrent sessions, join the presentation that appeals to you most. But don't worry about missing out on the other sessions. They will be available to view at any time. Plus, if you have to miss a keynote or other general session presentation, these will be recorded and available on demand after they air live. The speakers for all pre-recorded sessions will be available via chat for live Q&A. So they can essentially be in two places at once. While you're watching their session recording, they will be in the chat box ready to engage with you. My final piece of advice is to not skip the fun stuff. After a long day of learning, it may be tempting to log off and skip the end of day networking, but we have crafted some really fun activities to help you connect with your colleagues from a distance. On Tuesday, we have the New Orleans Culinary and Hospitality Institute coming in to teach you how to prepare some classic New Orleans dishes. We'll be sending out a list of ingredients if you want to cook along with the chefs, or you can just tune in for entertainment and inspiration. On Wednesday, we are hosting a virtual trivia tournament where you can test your knowledge and win some prizes. You can also mingle and socialize with your peers. And finally, we are ending each day with open networking, so you can reconnect with old friends and make some new ones. The networking room allows you to chat in groups or individually to answer some icebreaker questions and congregate based on shared interests. Okay, now that you are armed with some virtual attendee skills, let's dive into the platform. So as I mentioned, you will receive your link to the platform on March 2nd, a week before the conference begins. When you first open the platform, you'll be prompted to complete your profile. You can add your organization, check your credentials here. You can basically share anything you'd like to share with your fellow attendees. You can also upload a profile photo. We highly encourage you to do that, and by doing so, you can be part of the photo mosaic we're building throughout the conference. Once you have your profile in good shape, you can click Save. And this will take you to the main page. The main page has some general information for you and the navigation bar where you can access all of the platform content. The most important tab is the Schedule tab. Here you will find the full conference agenda. Each session has its own agenda card that you click into to access the presentation. You will see some tags here indicating what's live in general session versus on demand. And you can also search using the search bar here based on the name of the session. You can also search by keywords like poster, pharma workshop, etc. Here we have the opening ceremony and keynote presentation. So if we click into there, it will show you a countdown until this goes live. And when this is live, there will be a button here for you to join the session. You'll also notice over here listed the CE credits. You don't have to worry about keeping track of your own CEs. These will be automatically tallied by the system according to your activity. We also have those concurrent sessions. So if we scroll down to one of those, here we have concurrent sessions B, CNS Improving Outcomes. When you click in here, you will see all of the podium sessions associated with this concurrent session. So I'll click into here. This is one of Ludy's sessions. Here she's presenting with her colleague, Denise Washington. Typically, you will not see the video until the session is live, but I did load this for you so you could see what it would look like. This is the video here. And then to the right is the chat box where Ludy and Denise will be ready to engage with you when that session goes live. There's also a poll section here. If any of the presenters want to launch polls, they can do so there. Files is where you'll find the handouts. You can easily download them there. And the People tab will show you what other attendees are in that virtual space with you. So I mentioned building your own personalized agenda. The way you do that is by clicking on the plus marks to the right of the agenda card here. Once you see a green check mark, you will know that that has been added to your agenda. And you find My Agenda under the Schedule tab right here. You can also look at the full agenda or your My Agenda in a calendar view if you prefer. And this is also where you would export your schedule to save it in your own Outlook calendar, Google Calendar, etc. Under Schedule, there's also Schedule a Meeting. You can schedule a personal meeting with any attendee or speaker. I will pick on Ludy again. Say I want to meet with Ludy. I would just type her name in here. We can add some other members if we want to meet as a group. I would then find a mutually available time and send the invite, which Ludy can then accept or decline. The People tab here has the full list of speakers and attendees. You can also send requests to meet using this tab here, and also can send private messages. The Sponsor tab has a full list of our sponsors, and then our Exhibitors and Committees tab lists all of the vendors and committees that have virtual trade show booths in our virtual exhibit hall. That means during exhibit hours on the agenda, you can visit these booths and meet with representatives from the vendor or committee. If I click into the planning committee, I can see some information about the committee here. This is where I would join that live booth during those expo hours. If I have questions, I could start a conversation with the committee here. And I can also leave my card here if I want to send a private message. By leaving your card, your full profile will be shared with the committee. You can also leave a message like, how do I sign up? You will be awarded points in our conference tournament. The more you visit different committees and vendors in the exhibit hall, along with a bunch of other activities. I'll show you more when we get to that portion. Under the Fun tab, we have some great New Orleans content here. We have a virtual tour of the city, as well as a New Orleans playlist. You can listen to some music whenever you'd like. We have some classic New Orleans cocktail lessons here, as well as some other tours that you could take virtually of the city. Next, we have a word cloud. We are asking all of the attendees to contribute a word or phrase that describes what being a CNS in 2021 means to you. And then the results will be shared in the form of a word cloud during the closing ceremony. So please do submit a word or phrase. And then this tournament. So this is a full list of all of the activities on the platform that will earn you points. So if you join a virtual trade show live meeting, you'll earn 15 points every time you do that. Adding a profile photo gets you 15 points, and so on. This is the leaderboard here. This is just a placeholder currently, but this will show who is in the lead. And then at the end of the conference, the first, second, and third place winners will earn prizes. Under conversations, you can put a public forum. You can add a conversation here if you'd like to share it with the full conference group, or a private message will live in your inbox. And finally, we have the resources tab. Under abstracts, you will find the full database of abstracts that are associated with the conference. You can search by topic area, by the author, or the day and time, and then it will show you the full abstracts here. We also have a document library here. We'll be uploading the attendee guide and conference program here. The CE documentation is available here, as well as some other NACNS documents that we will be sharing. And finally, we have, of course, a Get Help section here in case you need any assistance throughout the conference. There is also a Get Help support button up here. And finally, we have our future conferences here where you can take a peek at what is in store for you the next several years. That concludes my overview of the platform, and I would love to open it up to any questions that anyone should have.
Okay, the first question we have is, how long will the content be available after the conference?
Yes, so the great thing about this event platform is that we are able to keep everything live for quite some time. We have not set a definitive deadline date, but we know that it will be available for at least 30 days after the conference.
And when will the material be available? Right after the session is over, or will it's is there a delay at all?
Yeah, it's a very short delay, and it depends on the length of the session. But as soon as that video converts, then it will be up on the site, available to be viewed on demand.
Okay, and are the CEs automatically tallied for each participant, or are we expected to keep track of on the CE document?
No, so they are automatically tallied by the system, which is great, and then we can we'll be sending out documentation to you at the end of the conference showing all of the credits that you amassed.
Is there going to be CE for the pre-conference session?
Unfortunately, we are not offering CEs for the pre-con at this time, but we will certainly let you know if anything changes.
Okay, and how soon can we retrieve the contact hours?
That is a good question that I don't have the answer to, but I will find out and let you know if we can take down whoever is asking that.
Okay, yes. And will they be able to receive contact hours for concurrent sessions that they attend after the conference? So not live, but actually afterwards. Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. So the system will continue to log your entering that session, watching the video. So it's not just what you're watching at the session time. You can get credit for all of those on-demand sessions.
Okay. We do have a student poster he has a student poster. He just wants to know if directions be sent on how to enter the session and to answer questions about the poster during the designated time.
Absolutely. Yep. We are also sending, along with attendee information, we'll be sending speaker information out, and speakers will get an even earlier access to the platform to take a spin.
Said, are the farm lectures free this year?
They are, yes. They have been kind of taken into the full conference content. So there is one each day, and those are included in your registration fee.
Someone did have a question if this webinar is recorded, and so yes, so we will be sharing that as well. I believe it's going to be on the website afterwards. Yes, somebody else wanted to know about the CE hours after the conference, so
yes,
we'll take these questions down and we'll get back to you on those.
I'll be sure to get that included in the attendee guide too.
Is the conference able to be pulled from phone?
Yes, I can't show you that now, but there is a mobile view for you, and so it is, kind of configured to look great on your smartphone as well. So you'll be able to access all of the content on your phone as well.
Okay, great. Is there a CNS Listserv resource? And I don't know if that's specifically for this conference or is it something else?
I'm not sure about that. I would need a little more information on that question.
Someone had a question about our company, Virtual. Yes, our management company is Virtual Inc. And we specialize in virtual.
We were ahead of the game.
Yes. We had a comment here about great work. Organizing a virtual conference has many challenges. You have really enhanced this experience, but I can't wait to see you all in person next year. That was Vince Holly.
Oh,
everyone else.
Thanks, Vince. Can't wait to hear your keynote.
Okay, that looks like all the questions we have right now.
Wonderful. Well, I am never
If
far.
they
You
have,
have more?
if someone does have, sorry. If someone does have questions, where should they ask?
Great. So you can email meetings@nacns.org if you have any questions. If you have any trouble, before, during, after the conference, feel free to reach out there. And we look forward to seeing you all virtually in 4 short weeks.
And I did have a question from one of the speakers. Wants to know if the date is March 2nd for their access.
They will get access the week prior. So the February 23rd, I believe, is the Tuesday before that.
Okay. Now I think that's
it. Wonderful.
Thanks so much, Alyssa. That was wonderful. And thank you, Susan. I'm just so excited. I look forward to seeing all of you virtually in 4 weeks, and encourage you to participate in all that you can and be as interactive as you can be. Have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.
Right. Thanks, everyone. This concludes today's NACNS webinar.